Hello and welcome to this FICO Decision Optimizer Getting Started video. This video introduces the mechanics of the Decision Optimizer user interface and describes how to perform basic tasks such as logging in and navigating the main views. So let's get started in the software. Decision Optimizer is a web application with a browser-based user interface, secured by a user authentication and authorization system. In order to log in, you must know your URL to access the software through your browser, in this case Google Chrome, and your username and password. So let's take a first look at the user interface. At the top of the main user interface is a blue banner area bearing the title FICO Express Optimization, beneath which are several links leading to different application pages. The specific link items available depend on your user permissions, but after an initial login are likely to include Home, Jobs and Admin. Beneath the blue banner and menu area, the main portion of the home page contains an arrangement of tiles that represent the apps currently available to the system. Apps are optimization applications, systems designed to optimize for particular business problems. Decision Optimizer is one such app. Each app is represented by a tile, and each tile contains two text labels. The app's name, FICO Decision Optimizer, which can be changed by users, and the specific version of the app, which is immutable and cannot be changed. In order to upload apps, you just click on the button on the top left, which opens a Window Explorer view and allows you to navigate to the appropriate file. Decision Optimizer apps can be either zip files or insight files. In order to edit app names, just click on the app menu icon on the top right hand corner of the tile and click on rename, and then that allows you to change the name to whatever you require. So let's now open Decision Optimizer by clicking on the tile. This opens up the app page and you can see app is added to the menu in the blue banner. The app page contains a left-hand vertical navigation menu and several views arranged in tabs across a large central content pane. This is where most of the configuration work occurs for projects. A Decision Optimizer app can contain one or more projects which themselves are containers for a decision impact model and one or more scenarios. This view also contains some introductory Decision Optimizer information and links to the Express Optimization community and to a video repository. But the main purpose of this view is in order to initiate projects. You can do this either through creating a new project by typing a name and clicking on Create Project, or clicking on the menu options to import a DO7 project or to upgrade a Decision Optimizer 6.3 project. To open an existing project, make a selection from the drop-down list where it says Select a Project and click Open Project. Alternatively, you can also rename, clone, export and delete projects from this menu by using the drop-down options. Please note that cloning a project does not clone its scenarios. However, exporting a project from this menu will also export any scenarios belonging to the project, combining everything into a single insight file. So let's go ahead and open this project. When you open a project, control switches to the Decision Impact Model view of the Setup View group, which renders a vertical menu on the left to assist with navigation. This menu persists for as long as the Setup View group is rendered. Each view acts to group related sections. When clicked, they render sequentially inside a horizontal tab labeled with the view name. Within the main content view, you can also scroll to other views within a particular section, or use the left-hand menu. The app page contains some additional user interface elements. Beneath the blue page banner and menu links, the grey scenario selection shelf, known as the shelf, initially bears the legend "Click here to select scenarios." When a project is loaded, the shelf renders a visual pill to represent the project. When a project is open with its pill present on the shelf, you can perform several additional project-related tasks and adjusted related settings. All of these operations can be accessed by clicking on the project's pill on the grey shelf and selecting from the drop-down menu. You can then click on the View Run Log to examine a log of project level server activities, click on Attachments to access the Attachments dialog, click on Export and follow the prompts to export the project. This creates an insight file for the project alone, and click on Properties to launch the project's Properties dialog, in which you can change the sharing state of the project owner, and the project location. Let's have a quick look at the Attachments dialog. Decision Optimizer supports file attachments to provide apps, projects and scenarios with the ability to access files in a similar way which desktop applications can access local files. The Attachments dialog includes a number of sections, including buttons to allow you to delete, download, upload and create new file attachments using a range of editors. You can also drag files to this area here to upload them. The Attachments Details table provides information about all the file attachments and provides things like selection boxes, information about the file name, when it was last modified, allows you to download and use various editors, as well as apply tags. Tags are assigned to files so that the system can use them within the software for various purposes. Finally, let's move on to the other key part of this part of the interface, which is the Scenario Explorer, which is obtained by clicking on the grey shelf. The Scenario Explorer provides a means to create and manipulate all of a project's scenarios. All users can select scenarios, but they need specific authorization to use the Scenario Explorer for other tasks, such as deleting scenarios. Scenarios contain all of the results data produced by one run, as well as metadata such as the scenario's owner and share status. Scenarios are selected by clicking to the left of each of the individual scenarios. As you can see, they are appearing on the shelf in the background. In addition, each scenario has its own drop-down menu, which allows you to run, delete, clone, view the run log, look at the scenario attachments, export the scenario as an insight file, and amend the properties of the scenario. You create a new scenario by clicking on this option here, which allows you to give a scenario a name, select the scenario type, and save it. Also allows you then to change the name or consider some of the other options around sharing or who the owner is. Once the scenario is created, then you can then select it for it to appear on the shelf. Selecting scenarios and making them active and appear on the shelf is important for some of the user interface elements. For example, you can only access the scenario areas and the reports areas if you have some active scenarios on the shelf. In addition, the order of your active scenarios on the shelf also impact the order of the scenarios appearing within the user interface or on reports. Each active scenario on the shelf also comes with a little icon. This icon will change depending on where it is in its current state. So you can see the scenario 1, which is a brand new icon that hasn't run, is just an empty circle, whereas optimization scenarios that have been completed with a little bar graph as well. These icons are replaced by other icons. For example, a clock icon indicates a scenario is being queued for running, whilst a spinner icon indicates that a scenario is running. In addition, there is an error icon, which is a red warning triangle that indicates the scenario has run but has encountered an error, in which case you are encouraged to look at the run log to identify why the problem occurred. Finally, just to cover off these three icons on the right hand side of the user interface, the run button effectively allows you to run all active scenarios that are on the shelf. So if I click this, all 5 scenarios will run. There are 2 other options which also give some actions in relation to the user interface you are on currently, and also another one which allows you to go to full screen or exit full screen. This just leaves a final review of the blue banner menu items, the jobs page, allows you to monitor the status of scenario executions and identify where in the queue your jobs are located, and also provides details on the status of scenarios, how long they've taken to run, etc. If you click back on the app page, then return to the software. The admin page allows users with the appropriate roles to perform tasks such as managing users and allocating roles. This will require a separate logon. And then finally, on the right hand side is the user details, and this is where you log out of the software and also access the help documentation as well. That brings us to the end of this getting started video. I hope you found it useful, and look out for other videos that cover off the main areas of Decision Optimizer functionality. Thank you.